In Martha Kome's Meru village following her nomination for the Chief Justice office as her vetting beckons. And drama as debates on BBI bill kicks off in both the National Assembly and the Senate. A very warm welcome to this live broadcast. My name is Irene Muchuma Odim. My co-anchor on sign language interpretation this evening is Lensa Odingo. The government has suspended all passenger flights between Kenya and India for 14 days to prevent more virulent coronavirus variants from entering the country following a surge in a positive COVID-19 cases in world's second most populous nation. Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe has further announced that the ban takes effect Saturday midnight and all passengers arriving into Kenya from the South Asian country will undergo mandatory COVID-19 testing and be put under 14 days mandatory quarantine. Purity Museu kicks us off tonight.
Kenya joins other countries including the United Kingdom, Hong Kong, Bangladesh, Oman, France, Canada and Singapore to ban travel to and from India following a decision by the National Emergency Response Committee to suspend direct flights in and out of the world's coronavirus hotspot beginning Saturday.
Resolved to suspend all passenger flights in and out of India into Kenya for a period of 14 days, subject to review. This suspension is to take effect 72 hours from now following this announcement, and that is therefore take effect on midnight on Saturday.
Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe, who doubles up as the National Emergency Response Committee chair, said the decision was prompted by the huge surge in COVID-19 infections and deaths in the Southern Asian country.
All passengers arriving from India within those 72 hours shall be subjected to rapid antigen testing upon arrival at our ports of entry and shall be required to strictly observe a 14-day quarantine period that will be closely monitored by our health officials.
To address the oxygen shortage, the Coronavirus Response Committee has tasked the Ministry of Health to support county governments in upscaling their oxygen supply level.
What we have advised across the counties is that we should always have a piped system of oxygen in every new ward that is being built anywhere in Kenya.
On Wednesday, the country recorded 834 new coronavirus cases from 8,498 samples tested, pushing the coronavirus caseload to 158,326. The positivity rate is at 9.8%. 23 fatalities were reported in the last 24 hours, 15 on diverse dates within the last 1 month, while 6 are late deaths reports from facility record audits. 2,688 people have succumbed to COVID-19 since March 2020. In the meantime, truck drivers in Kenya are appealing to the government to have them be part of the vaccine priority group owing to the nature of their job.
Madereva wangepewa priority wachanjwe, mtu apewe certificate, mtu akitoka Mombasa anaenda moja kwa moja.
Elsewhere, Antikov, the largest clinical trial in Africa for people with mild COVID-19 to test a new drug combination, has started the recruitment of participants to test a new drug combination, nitazoxanide and psychosonide, to treat people with mild to moderate COVID-19 before their cases become severe. Both drugs are already commercially available and will be affordable and easy to access and administer if shown to be effective against COVID-19. Purity Museo, Channel 1 News.
Now, the name of the Chief Justice nominee, Justice Martha Koome, has officially been handed over to Parliament for vetting. Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi, while acknowledging the development, directed the National Assembly Departmental Committee of Justice and Legal Affairs to expedite the vetting process, given that the National Assembly has 28 days to consider and make decision on the next Chief Justice nominee.
A day after the Judicial Service Commission found Lady Justice Martha Koome the most suitable candidate to replace retired Chief Justice David Maraga, the President has forwarded our nomination to the National Assembly for vetting.
I wish to inform the House that I have today, 28th of April 2021, received a message from His Excellency the President conveying the nomination of the Honorable Lady Justice Martha Karambu Koome for appointment as the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya and President of the Supreme Court.
Consequently, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi, ordered the National Assembly's Departmental Committee of Justice and Legal Affairs to commence the vetting of Lady Justice Martha Koome in accordance with the Constitution.
The committee should notify the nominee and the general public of the time and place for holding the approval hearings expeditiously. The notification should therefore be made immediately. And 2, the committee should thereafter commence the necessary approval hearings and table its report on or before Tuesday, 25th of May 2021 for debate and decision by the House.
Parliament having until 25th May 2021 to consider and make decision on the nomination of Justice Koome, Speaker Muturi says Parliament will prioritize the vetting exercise.
In view of the compelling public interest and the unique place of the office of the Chief Justice within our constitutional and legal order, the committee is requested to consider the nomination on a priority basis.
The announcement coming as Lady Justice Martha Koome assures the country of her unwavering commitment to serve to the best of her abilities if confirmed to the office. In a statement, Justice Koome, who was one of the 3 women among 10 candidates vetted by JSC, said she is extremely grateful to the Judicial Service Commission for nominating her to the office of the Chief Justice. The 61-year-old Koome, who will make history of being the first woman Chief Justice in the country's history, further conveyed her gratitude to all well-wishers who encouraged and prayed for her. Ben Chumba, reporting for Channel 1 News.
The family, relatives and neighbors of the Chief Justice nominee Martha Karambu Koome back in Meru have expressed their joy following the picking of one of their own, describing her as a humble, loving and disciplined lady since her childhood. Born in a family of 18 children from a humble background, his brother described her as a humble, loving and hardworking woman of integrity. Others expressing their gratitude are her Mweteria primary school teacher and her cook at the same school, among others.
Naitwa Grace Mwenda hapa Kidhiu, pahali ambao Martha alisaliwa na mimi ni sister in law yake. Tumekaa na Martha as a very good sister-in-law. She has been very cooperating, very helpful to me and my children.
Mimi ni ndugu yake Martha. Martha ndiye ananifuata. Ni mchana ya mwisho kwa mama yangu. Alizaliwa hapa tu. Msichana wa kawaida. Msichana ambaye alikuwa anapenda watu kuanzia akiwa mtoto. Msichana ambaye alionekana leadership yake akiwa mtoto mdogo kabisa. Mpaka my grandfather alinotice hiyo leadership yake akiwa anatenda nje ya miaka 5 miaka 6 hapo.
Ameguru nikiwa na yeye. Kwenda secondary school, high school, akaenda university, sasa tukaachana kidogo tu. Lakini social, she was a social wonderful lady, young lady. I believe in the family she was the most humble. Even today you can't know she's a big woman. She's everywhere. Tuko na family, celebrations za kila aina, anatangamana na watu wengine. Na ana faith everywhere. You can't know she's that big.
Mother alikuwa anasomea hapa Muthairia primary, na ule anamjua ni mtu mzuri, atatusaidia. Mimi ni mpisi nafikia watoto hapa Muthairia primary.
And those encouraging sentiments from the county of Meru leads us to our first break. We are also live on our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1 on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. We are taking a short break. Stay with us. We'll be back with more.
During this time of COVID-19, you can reach us on our toll-free line 0800-724499 or email us on comments@ira.go.ke. You can also visit our website at www.ira.go.ke or follow us on our social media platforms. Now you know, IRA, promoting insurance, protecting the insured.
Je, umeomoka? Kama hujaomoka kwenye Quickbit ndio mambo yote. Hapa tuko na fridge, kodi yake ni CM. Tuko na gas cooker, kodi yake ni CK. Tuko na TV, kodi yake ni TV. Tuko na simu aina ya Samsung ni SM ama Oppo ni Oppo. My friend, mahali popote unanitazama, eka hizo kodi zake kisha utume kwa 4032353. 4032353. Alafu utakuwa unaomoka na hizi bidhaa. Kumbuka kwenye Quickbit ni bila bora zaidi kwa bei ya chini kwa chini.
Siri za maisha. Siri ya kwanza ya maisha ni kujifunza kusamehe. Ya pili ni kujituma. Ya tatu ni kujifunza. Ya nne kukubali mabadiliko. Ya tano kuweka akiba. 6 kutokufa moyo, na 7 kumtendea mwenzako jinsi ungependa akutendee wewe.
Ili kupata skiza tune ya siri za maisha, bonyeza *811 *397 hash. Bonyeza *811 *397 hash.
Next on.
Aweka yako nini asa? Kabla unipe mjuzi, mzee wako anachona kaya. Basi ukimuona waona kaya na wanabilika. Unakwenda paka kwa mke wangu wewe. Kufanya nini? Mzee kufanya nini wewe? Kama yangu. Ninamuona na mbona tunisimu kadamu na karatasi kiseme hii. Hata ni ya tatu. Hiyo. Ile kati ya nani babu?
Welcome back. Now, the National Assembly and the Senate on Wednesday kicked off the debate on the Constitution Amendment Bill 2020 in a 2-day special sittings after the Joint Justice and Legal Affairs Committee handed in the finalized BBI report. The Senate was forced to adjourn its sittings twice as members requested for time to go through the report, with the second adjournment arising following the arrest of Meru Senator Mithika Linturi. Senators, however, have vowed to examine and scrutinize the bill as per their legislative power in the deliberations, which are set to continue on Thursday.
Parliament is set to have its way in the Constitution Amendment Bill process as lawmakers embarked on special sittings Wednesday. The proceedings in the Senate during the morning session were, however, adjourned as legislators pushed to get a hard copy of the Joint Justice and Legal Affairs Committee report and further examine it before debating on it.
The Joint Committee has tabled the report just now. And for me, I have just had the first look at the report now. You do not expect me, Mr. Speaker, to make meaningful contribution, having looked at the report just now.
We need to have a feel of what other people told the committee about this thing because, Mr. Speaker, the people have spoken about the bill before us. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to agree. Let us be given some bit of time.
And I want to urge the leadership, Mr. Speaker, both the majority and the minority, that we should resist any temptation, act, or omission that entrenches the feeling that we are a rubber stamp.
Senate Speaker Kenneth Lusaka adjourned the sitting to 2:30 p.m. When they returned, however, the proceedings took a twist as Senate members demanded to know the circumstances under which Meru Senator Mithika Linturi was arrested. The sitting was again adjourned for 30 minutes, during which Linturi made his way to the chambers.
Mr. Speaker, the few hours have been in the hands of my good brother, Kinot. Has not been one of the best experiences, to say the least. I find it very absurd because, Mr. Speaker, I would have been summoned to go to the DCI on Monday or yesterday or any other day. But doing it today, Mr. Speaker, is what is really annoying me and is very, very painful, very painful.
The bicameral parliament will be holding the deliberations simultaneously on Wednesday and Thursday. It is, however, not expected that they amend the constitution.
There are people out there who are telling us, to support this report. To support this report as if there is anybody saying something different. If you look at the last page of this report, there is no contrary recommendation. The recommendation is that the amendment bill should be passed. So those who are saying this and that outside there, they have never looked at this report.
Some of the contentious issues include the schedule of the 70 constituencies that has been termed unconstitutional, among others. Kamche Menza for Channel 1 News.
The process of filling the 4 vacant positions at the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission is expected to start promptly after the swearing in of 6 members of the IEBC selection panel. Acting Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu swore in the 6 appointees. The 7th person, the Law Society of Kenya representative Dorothy Jemator, didn't attend the event following the court orders that suspended her appointment.
I, Elizabeth Muli,
having been appointed member of the selection panel.
The 6 sworn in by Acting Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu Wednesday were Dr. Elizabeth Muli, Gideon Solonka, Awori James Echoka, Elizabeth Mayo, Father Joseph Mutie, and Farudin Suleiman.
Do swear that I will at all times obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution of Kenya.
However, the Law Society of Kenya representative Dorothy Jemator was absent following court orders by Justice Anthony Mrima suspending her appointment to the panel. There had been wrangles at LSK with Society President Nelson Harvey nominating a different representative, Maurice Mutua, from the faction led by CEO Mercy Wambua. In her speech, Mwilu congratulated the panel and said they have a serious task ahead.
that the task you're just about to embark on is not a small task. And if the people you bring to us cause us problems in August next year, we shall go back to the beginning. And the beginning is you today and the oath you have taken.
Mwilu urged the panel to select people of integrity.
I imagine the reason you were picked is because we believed in you and that you can do the right thing and do it rightly.
The selection panel shall within 7 days of its appointment invite application from qualified persons and publish the names of all applicants and their qualifications in the Gazette, 2 newspapers with national circulation, and on the Parliamentary Service Commission website. The panel is constituted to recruit replacements of Commissioners Roslyn Akombe, Margaret Mwachanya, Consolata Nkatha, and Paul Kurgat, who resigned midstream. Suleiman Yeri, Channel 1 News.
Detectives based at the Directorate of Criminal Investigations in Kilimani have arrested 2 suspects found in possession of fake currencies totaling to hundreds of millions of shillings at a house in Kilimani, Nairobi. During the raid at Makazi Apartments, the detectives discovered 6.8 million fake US dollars, 490,000 fake euros, and 6.4 million Kenya shillings.
A tip-off from a member of the public led DCI sleuths to Makazi Apartments in Kilimani, Nairobi, where millions of shillings in fake currency was hidden. During the Wednesday morning raid, 2 suspects, namely Samuel Maina and Boniface Mungai, were arrested. This after 6.8 million fake US dollars, 490,000 fake euros, and 6.4 million Kenya shillings was recovered, stashed in metal boxes. Also recovered were jerrycans with an unknown liquid, Delarue branded badges, and a seal, all suspected to be used in the printing of the fake money. Assorted documents, custom reflector jackets, United Nations and National Treasury stickers were also confiscated during the operation. The suspects are in custody as detectives search for more evidence to establish those behind what appears to be a well-coordinated fake currency syndicate. Meanwhile, Kenya Power officials are raising concerns over the rise in theft of transformers and vandalism of electric cables across the country. The officials raised the red flag after recovery of 29 vandalized transformers in Uasin Gishu County.
Uasin Gishu alone has lost about 9 transformers, and this translates to quite a huge cost, because when we consider the cost of one transformer goes for at least 300,000 shillings. So when we lose about 29 of them, that translates to close to 15 million Kenya shillings.
Residents of Wata community, Kilifi County, are optimistic of fast and efficient services at the local land registry after President Uhuru Kenyatta unveiled a digital land information management system. For this and more details in our county news briefs.
Historical land injustices is an emotive issue within the residents of Shirango village, Ganze constituency, which was at one point ejected from the land without resettlement nor compensation. Locals say with the new development initiated by President Uhuru Kenyatta, their journey to land ownership, which has been the long struggle, is likely to come to an end.
Changamoto tuliyokumbana nayo, tulitolewa huko, tukaambiwa tusiwinde tena, na hatukupewa chakula mbadala. Kulima hatujui.
Meanwhile, Murang'a County Commissioner Mahamud Bari has appealed to area residents to collect their Huduma card numbers. Murang'a County has received 56,000 Huduma cards with only 5,000 collected.
Wananchi wa Murang'a na waomba mchukue hizi Huduma card IDs. Wapi? Utachukua kwa nearest NRB offices, ofisi ya vitambulisho karibu nawe, ama Huduma Center pia ziko.
Elsewhere, Kisii County government has moved to offer fish fingerlings at a subsidized price in a bid to encourage more residents to embrace fish farming in the area. Kisii County Governor James Ongwae said the initiative was attainable following the construction of fish multiplication and demonstration centers at Ogembo and Bomorenda.
Any businesses that are involved in fish multiplication and production is good for business, especially for the small farmers, but not only as a business, but also as a food production initiative and also as a health initiative for this county.
And Nyanza Regional Commissioner Magu Mutindika wants speedy completion of projects that had been funded by the government and Migori County. During tour of the region, the commissioner reiterated the government's commitment to compensate families that were evicted during the implementation of various projects across the county. A section of ODM officials in Migori County now demanding for action from the top party officials against Governor Okoth for gross violation of party policies. Led by Migori branch chairman Philip Makabongo and secretary Joseph Olana, the duo drafted a letter to the party's chairman John Mbadi to terminate Obado's membership.
Mr. Obado, now that he has defected from ODM and rejoined PDP within 7 days from today, 13th of April 2021, to step down from his position of governorship and concentrate on his PDP party.
Finally, Nyandarua Governor Francis Kimemia has asked Daragwa area residents to enlist in the water connection program following the near completion of the Leshau Karagoini water project.
Serikali kuu na county government tumeweka tayari milioni 200 hapa katika huu mradi. Kuna milioni 20 ambao itaongezwa na national government, county government tunaongeza milioni 50 ili wananchi wote wa Kirita na pia pale Leshau Karagoini kwenda mpaka Central Ward hapa Ndaragwa waweze kupata maji ya kunywa na pia kufanya irrigation.
Thank you for staying with us. Time for Channel 1 News Our Business. 22 lorries trying to sneak maize into Kenya illegally from Uganda have been nabbed. Some of the lorries which sneaked into the country through non-gazetted border points in West Pokot County were impounded while offloading the maize. However, traders in the area claimed the arrests would create a maize shortage, pushing up prices.
In less than a month, the government has impounded 61 lorries ferrying maize illegally imported from Uganda. This is after the government intensified a crackdown on illegal maize importation on food safety concerns. The latest incidents involve impounding of 22 trucks carrying maize from Uganda that have been impounded in West Pokot, bringing in the farm produce through non-gazetted border entry points.
Ile mahindi inatoka Uganda, tunashuku iko na aflatoxin na ni tisho kwa maisha ya wananchi wa Kenya. Na sasa tumeshika magari 22 siku ya leo ambaye tutafuta mpaka kwa police station kwa sababu madereva yao wameweza kutoroka.
Some of the vehicles were nabbed as they offloaded the illegal maize consignment while others were still on transit.
Ambaye anataka kufanya biashara iwe ni biashara aina yoyote kutoka nchi jirani, tunafahamisha hawa ya kwamba lazima wapite katika custom ya swamp.
However, traders claim the maize had been procured within West Pokot County, adding that such arrests could fuel maize shortage that would push up the price of the farm produce in coming weeks.
Kenya bado ni nchi inatawaliwa na sheria na Uganda pia inatawaliwa na sheria. Mahindi imepitaje kwa mpaka na kutoka hapa mpaka kutoka town hapa mpaka ni zaidi ya kilomita 270. Inakuwaje mahindi yenye iko town inakamatwa na kusema ya kwamba yote ni ya Uganda?
The heightened crackdown on illegal maize was instigated by the government after maize import from the neighboring countries were found to be having high levels of aflatoxin contamination. Benson Rioba reporting for Channel 1 Business.
The Communications Authority of Kenya has shut Mount Kenya TV for a month and imposed a fine of $500,000 shillings for what the regulator terms as a gross violation of programming standards. Acting CA Director General Mercy Wanjao says the TV station aired explicit content during a watershed period contrary to the Information and Communications Broadcasting Regulations of 2009.
Over the last 20 years, we all have witnessed the growth of the broadcasting industry, where we started off with one channel, and now we have over 100 channels covering different niches, different genres that address the various audiences we have in this country. The bottom line of going on air is that broadcasters owe a responsibility to their audiences, particularly during a period that is referred to as the watershed period. This is a period that is dedicated to family viewing time because it recognizes that families are likely to be.
Acting Communications Authority of Kenya Director General Mercy Wanjao says the regulator received complaints against Mount Kenya TV channel, a vernacular station owned by MS Lopes Media Limited, over airing of inappropriate content on April 19th at 2 p.m.
Our licensees who aired content that was of an adult nature within the watershed period, and it became necessary to take the appropriate actions as we have taken today to ensure that when they do come back on air, the appropriate mechanisms have been put in place to safeguard audiences, particularly vulnerable audiences such as children.
She says an assessment revealed that the TV channel had aired an animated movie containing scenes of sexually explicit content, drug abuse, robbery, and violence in blatant breach of the programming code and the ICT sector law.
And we also have required that they, as part of the corrective action, they will air content that is aimed at desensitizing any children who may have been exposed to that programming as part of the corrective measures.
Acting CA Director General said the TV station had flouted the law that warns against the airing of harmful content to children during the watershed period. In this regard, CA has ordered the shutdown of the station from midday Wednesday for a period of 4 weeks and fined $500,000 shillings for non-compliance with the programming standards. According to the regulator, the TV station acknowledged the mistake but failed to expand on how the offensive content made it to its servers. Last month, the regulator fined Homeboys Radio 1 million shillings over insensitive remarks made during a program by some of its presenters. Regina Manyara reporting for Channel 1 Business.
The Kenya Railways plans to add a freight train on the Nairobi-Nanyuki railway line next week to help ferry livestock to the Kenya Meat Commission. Kenya Railways chairman, Pastor Awita, says the additional freight will be a livestock cargo train to help pastoralists in Laikipia County and neighboring areas transport their animals to the Kenya Meat Commission, Abattoir in Athi River.
The Kenya Railways is refurbishing over 30 locomotives in preparation to scale up train services across the country. The Parastatal plans to add a cargo train service on the Nanyuki-Nairobi railway line next week that will be dedicated for ferrying livestock from Laikipia County and neighboring areas to the Kenya Meat Commission Abattoir in Athi River.
From next week, we are going to be conveying cattle from Nanyuki to KMC using the MGR, and that's why the cattle wagons are also being rehabilitated.
The freight is expected to get herders and livestock farmers in Laikipia and adjacent areas, market for their animals, and scale up operations at the abattoir.
I know that Kenya Railways would want to be able to haul freight to and fro every day. Yeah. And once we get these locomotives working, these and others will be able to do that.
Plans are also in top gear for resumption of passenger service on the Nairobi-Kisumu railway line in June this year, with test runs scheduled for next month.
Kisumu line is going to be in June. It's going to be ready. Trials will start sometimes towards the end of the month, May.
The relaunched Kisumu-Nairobi-Malaba passenger service will see passengers travel via SGR to Naivasha, then connect Western Kenya via the meter gauge railway line.
Yes, there is the line from Nakuru to Kisumu. There is a line from Longonot to Malaba. Then there is a connector line from the old railway, MGR, to the SGR.
The railway expansion project is part of the Kenya Transport and Logistics Network strategy to harmonize transport and logistics in the country. Benson Rioba reporting for Channel 1 Business.
Time for Channel 1 Sports News. Kenya Volleyball Federation, KVF, has dropped 4 players out of the Malkia Strikers squad that has been in residential training camp at Kasarani ahead of the next phase of training and competition that will be held in Brazil. This is in preparation for this year's Tokyo Olympic Games. The players who have been named in the traveling squad will leave the country this Friday for a 45-day training camp.
20 national women volleyball team players have been in training camp at Kasarani under the tutelage of head coach Paul Bitok and a team of Brazilian coaches seconded to them by the International Federation of Volleyball, FIVB. Out of the 20 players, 16 will travel to Brazil this Friday after 4 of the players were dropped from the traveling squad. The 4 include Joan Telagat, Josephine Wafula, Jemima Siangu and Caroline Sirengo. Experienced Kenyan international setter Jane Washu, Joel Lusenaka and Immaculate Nekesa make up the team of setters, while liberos in the team include Elizabeth Nafula and Agrippina Kundu. Masi Moim, Noel Murambi, Leonida Kasaya and Pamela Jepkirui make up the left attackers team, while middle blockers include Edith Mukuvilani, Violet Makuto, Gladys Ekaru and Lauren Chebet. Malkia strikers will be making a return to the Olympic Games after last featuring in 2004. Frederick Mwoki for Channel 1 Sports.
The National Olympic Committee of Kenya expresses its totality solidarity with the government for its recent swift action to counter an attack on the country through unfounded allegations by one Christian Road about systematic cover-up of doping cases in Kenya. NOC salutes the effort to protect Kenya's hard-working and clean athletes preparing to carry out national duty in the upcoming Tokyo 2020 Olympics and Paralympic Games. NOC says its constitution recognizes the significance of clean sports by stating its commitment to respect the provisions of the Olympic Charter and the World Anti-Doping Code. Olympics Kenya has also made arrangements to have all Olympic teams in camp for scheduled anti-doping education sessions as part of their camp schedule. The Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games will be held from the 23rd of July to 8th of August, with the Paralympic Games beginning on the 24th of August to 5th September in Japan. Next. "32 athletes who will represent Kenya in the World Relay Championship arrived safe in Poland after leaving the country last night. The world event is set to be held in Korzo, Poland from 1st to 2nd of next month. In the women's 4x400 meters, Kenya will be represented by Mary Mora, Helen Siombua, Veronica Mtua, Gladys Msioki and Joan Cherono, while those set to compete in the 4x400 meters mixed relay are Egle Nalianya, Sylvia Chesebe, Helen Siombua, Mary Mora, Emmanuel Korir, Emmanuel Mtua, Stanley Kieti and Aaron Koech. During the previous edition that was held in 2019, Kenya finished third on medal table after clinching 3 gold medals, 4 silver and 1 bronze medal. The UEFA Champions League continues tonight with the first leg semi-final match pitting Manchester City and Paris Saint-Germain at Parc des Princes in Paris. Last night, Chelsea grabbed a potentially vital away goal in a 1-1 draw with Real Madrid in their first leg tie at Alfredo Di Stefano.
Opportunity to show them.
Christian Pulisic scored an important away goal as Chelsea held the 10-time winners Real Madrid to a 1-1 draw in the first leg of their Champions League semi-final at the Alfredo Di Stefano in Spain.
They have had a few 0-0s recently. Here's Pulisic. He's going to go for goal himself. He's rounded the goalkeeper and he scored with some aplomb. Christian Pulisic in the 14th minute, and Chelsea, who are going through the gears, have suddenly run into overdrive here. Real Madrid 0, Chelsea 1.
The Blues had taken the lead on the 14th minute before Karim Benzema grabbed an equalizer for Los Blancos.
To Modric from the corner, back to Marcelo. Benzema, brilliant. He's done it again. The short corner still led to a ball to the far post. Chelsea didn't deal with it, and Karim Benzema has rammed in the equaliser.
Tonight, dreams of a maiden UEFA Champions League crown will be dimmed for one of Paris Saint-Germain or Manchester City as the two continental giants lock horns at the first leg of their semi-final at the Parc des Princes. The French side prevailed on away goals against reigning champions Bayern Munich to march to the Final Four, while Man City secured a 4-2 aggregate victory over Borussia Dortmund to end the recent quarter-final bad luck. Both sides enjoyed successful domestic results at the weekend, although City was far more noteworthy as they beat Tottenham Hotspur in the EFL Cup final, while PSG enjoyed a 3-1 league win over Metz.
I think Manchester City is one of the greatest team on the world, and I think for me with the best coach, and of course. Is going to be tough or tougher than Bayern Munich.
So what you have to do is focus in the game, the strength that they have, the weakness points that they have, and try to win the game. We travel with this idea, no more than that.
The hosts have been boosted with the fitness of Kylian Mbappe, but left back Juan Bernat will be unavailable, while Manchester City have a fully fit squad. PSG are looking to reach the second Champions League final, while the citizens are aiming for a first showcase.
We have come to the close of Channel 1 News Hour. We do appreciate your feedback on our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. Now, the bulletin is coming to an end sooner than usual because your true sports partner, KBC Channel 1, is bringing you CAF Champions League. Match will be between Pyramid FC and Namungo FC, and this will be airing live right after this bulletin. We do appreciate your company. Keep it KBC Channel 1. For more details on just aired news and many more, do log on to www.kbc.co.ke. My name is Irene Muchuma Odem. My co-anchor in sign language interpretation has been Lansa Odingo. And up next is Yusuf Farah with the latest weather updates. Good night. God bless.
As you've seen in the news, the Met Department has issued flash floods alert in areas harboring Kenya and Ethiopia. Now, counties said to be affected by this are Wajir, Moyale and Marsabit. Residents of the said counties have been asked to be on high alert for flash floods, especially areas that have not received rainfall in the past few days. Good evening. Welcome to your Channel 1 weather update. My name is Yusuf Farah. Now, tonight, Kericho is the coldest with temperatures dropping to 12 degrees Celsius. Rainfall is expected in several parts of the country. Tomorrow morning, areas of the capital city wake up to light rains accompanied by sunny intervals and partly cloudy conditions. The same conditions experienced in areas of Nyeri, Meru and its environs. Machakos, Makindu, Kitui and Voi, light rains in the morning accompanied by sunny intervals. Showers accompanied by sunny intervals in the coastal region. Chances of rain in the morning accompanied by sunny intervals in the northeastern region. Areas of Lodo and the Lake Turkana Basin, rains in the morning accompanied by sunny intervals. In the afternoon, showers accompanied by thunderstorms in western and Nyanza areas of Kisumu, Kitale, Kericho, Eldoret and its environs. Showers accompanied by sunny intervals in the coastal region. The northeastern region, partly cloudy conditions with sunny intervals. Chances of rain in Mandera accompanied by sunny intervals. Areas of the Lake Turkana Basin and areas bordering Kenya and South Sudan expect sunny intervals in the afternoon. As far as the temperatures are concerned, highs of 35, lows of 25 in Mandera. Highs of 36, lows of 25 in Garissa and the capital city Nairobi. Highs of 25 and lows of 16. That's your local weather focused, and many thanks for keeping it Channel 1. I'll see you next time. Until then, do have yourselves a pleasant night.
Beauty College. Vera Beauty and Fashion College, with branches in Nairobi, Eldoret, Thika, and Meru. Did you know that we are a TVET-approved institution? We offer courses in fashion design, interior design and soft furnishing, event decoration, flower arrangement, event planning, hairdressing, barbering and dreadlocks, beauty therapy, makeup, nail technology, spa massages, teaching skills, TOT, solo business management, and many more. Register now and visit our website on www.verabeautycollege.com. You can also call on 0725-923-550 Nairobi branch, 0728-087-689 Eldoret branch, 0722-227428 Thika branch, 0725-000-706 Meru branch. Vera Beauty and Fashion College, a TVET-approved institution.
Sasa, hii ng'ombe ni yako. Asante. Hii ng'ombe itakuwa maziwa mengi kabisa. Sasa shida ya school fees imeisha. Jen, chukua hii. Hebu nikuulize, hii maneno nasikia ya bima ya elimu inaweza kuwa namna gani mtu anachukua? Process ya kuchukua insurance cover yote ni rahisi. Hata niko na cover ya gari yangu. Kwanza unajaza proposal form kama hii na uijaze wewe mwenyewe, na kama haujui kusoma uijaze na mtu unayemwamini. Hakikisha ile majibu umepatiana ni sahihi na ni ya kweli. Pia thibitisha insurance cover imeangalia maslahi yako, na usiwahi sign proposal form ambayo haijaandikwa kitu chochote. Pia ukumbuke kujitolea fotokopi yako. Sasa wacha nianze hiyo process. By the way, ukisubmit hiyo proposal form uhakikishe umepatiwa policy document. Uisome na uielewe. Hiyo ndio thibitisho ya kuwa unabiba.
Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako na IRA.
And he'll be looking to try and brandish them in a big way out there tonight. These are the luminous yellow jerseys of Namungo. We're talking about a team from Tanzania, of course, Dar es Salaam, fourth in the Premier League, which enabled them to qualify for this competition. They're here. They've got nothing to lose, and they will try and play some sparkling football as we see them arriving a little bit earlier, of course. These matches, by the way, if you're trying to get your head around why some of these matches in the Confederations Cup for match day 6 are taking place so late, it is, of course, because of Ramadan. Because you can break fasting only when the sun goes down, when it's night time, of course. So obviously, out of respect for the North African clubs that are competing in this competition, not just the North African clubs, because we're talking about lots of other different players from all over who are playing across the continent. We're, of course, giving them the chance to actually get the energy they need to play the football that we expect them to play, which is top-notch, and that's the reason why. So we've got more football kicking off a little bit later on. This is the early kick-off, if you think about it, which is already quite late. But we've got more football taking place a little bit later on. Some matches kicking off at midnight, of course, depending on what part of the world we're in. So that obviously means that there'll be some fine football being played tonight. So stay up. There's another small match taking place in Europe, apparently, but let's forget about that. It's all about Africa. It's all about what's taking place place on the continent, this wonderful continent where we've got some wonderful football that's being played. We've reached the knockout stages, well, not just yet, but we've ended the group stages of the African Champions League. Now we are coming to a close in this competition, of course, match day 6. You can see Raja Casablanca, former winners of this cup and also former winners of the Champions League, qualifying ahead of Pyramids FC. 15 points, 5 from 5. Just look at that record. The artists, or the Green Eagles, call them what you like, they are outstandingly good, and we know all about them. Raja Casablanca sharing their stadium in that wonderful city of Casablanca, of course, with Awada Athletic Club, WAC, if you like, and showing us exactly what they're capable of doing. Playing some extraordinary football, great results right throughout, 5 wins from 5, obviously underlined as one of the top teams in this group and top teams in this competition when you actually look through the other groups. But we'll take a look at that afterwards. This team for Pyramids FC, coached by Arua Barrena, he was came under a lot of fire, of course. He lost both matches against Raja Casablanca in Group D, and which obviously put him in a very unstable position, because at Pyramids FC they like to turn around and move things quite quickly, and if they don't have a coach that fits the bill, then they will obviously make a change, and that's what they've done in the past, and that's what they'll logically continue to do in the future, so you've got to be very careful. And I think that Arua Barrena was walking on thin ice, something that we don't really find during the middle of winter, of course, in Cairo, because it's still very warm, and but very, very complicated time. 2 losses against Raja in this competition. A draw against Ghazi El Mahala. But he came back with 2 wins against Nkana in this competition, which was a very, very important victory, of course. A 1-0 win at on the road, of course, with that goal scored by Abdallah Said, and then, of course, winning against Ittihad Alexandria in the north of the country, that got him back on track. He's been given a lifeline now, the Argentinian, the former Boca Juniors player and coach. So they're keeping faith with him. And he's already seen his side qualify for the quarterfinals. It's going to be tricky, though, because once you've already caught the eye of your president, I think that you've got to be really careful after that, especially if it's for the wrong reasons. And you're lucky to get a second chance. That's what I'm saying at Pyramids FC, a relatively new club that was. That's provided us with some wonderful football, of course. I think since they decided to change their name, create this really wonderful logo. They had a different logo before, and now they find themselves in a position where they actually look very attractive. They've brought in some very high-profile Egyptian football players and some good players from Africa as well, and that puts them in that position where they're looking good. They still got to win more silverware and show us what they're capable of doing. But I think that they're already a team with big ambitions. They're a team that plays some attractive football. But I think that there's still a lot of work to do before they can obviously try and compare themselves to the likes of Al Ahly, of course, the record winners of the African Champions League, and the White Knights of Zamalek, 2 absolute giants of Egyptian football, but also of African football. They're not there yet, but as I said, it takes a long time for a team to do it. You don't just do it overnight to get the silverware that you're after. I think that it's work in progress, and Pyramids. Obviously, they got a new president that came in 2018. They changed their name from Al Asyoti Sport, and and they really did invest in this club and got this the stadium all set up. They brought in Hossam El Badri, and they changed things around and tried to create something absolutely incredible. They're now in a position where they're looking a lot better, but they have seen numerous coaches come and go over the last few months of last few years, and that goes to show that it's still not that stable, but there's still work to do, of course, and it comes from consistency and it comes from winning silverware. And I think that that makes it quite complicated because one, you're not the only team that are capable of winning silverware in the league, of course, with the likes of Zamalek and El Ahly looking very, very strong and ahead of them as it stands in the Egyptian Premier League. And two, you've got to find create the right family, and you've got to get the results against the big teams. And when you see the number of coaches that have actually changed over the last few years, then you realise that they haven't yet found that stability. But they've qualified for the quarterfinals. They've already made it to the final of this competition. Of course, last time out, losing to RS Berkane of Morocco, who incidentally have been eliminated from this competition. So we won't have back-to-back winners, but we could have back-to-back finalists, and maybe the Pyramids will go all the way. But they've already come unstuck against Raja Casablanca, who really did show us what kind of wonderful football they're capable of playing, and they'll fancy their chances in this competition. And so there's a bit of work to do, but we'll have a look at some of the other teams and what they've managed to achieve in the different groups as we talk about this competition tonight. A busy night of Confederations Cup football for the African Football Confederation, of course, brought to you by Total. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a wobbly ball that's being on the top of there. There's a risk that it might just fall off its pedestal if the wind blows a little bit stronger. That wind will have an important effect on tonight's match here at this wonderful stadium. Artificial surface, open stadium, wonderful stadium, but well, it might be a little bit complicated with the wind out there, but we'll see. Talked about the French, one of the coaches who had his ambitions. Well, he didn't manage to go as far as he wanted at the helm of Pyramids FC. That was Sébastien Desabre, who the Frenchman, former coach of Uganda, of course. The Cranes of Uganda. So following the elimination of their Africa Cup of Nations, he took over, of course. That was here in Egypt, and but it didn't last too long. So you can just see that there's lots taking over, lots happening, of course, and the Emirati businessman Salem Al-Shamsi is the who completed the takeover of the club from Turki Al-Sheikh, the Saudi businessman and political advisor to the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who'd bought it that previous summer. So I think that the stability comes with results. The results will win the silverware, but Rodolfo Arruabarrena still has a mighty task to do. Wonderful shirts. Look at these, and for this Pyramids FC.
Tout le monde a une chance. 1xBet.
Remember all the good times that we shared. I paid that bill.
Chez Total, on en fera toujours plus pour vous.
Namungo FC with Jonathan Nahimana, the goalkeeper, just 21 years of age. The back four, Tangalo, Magingi, Dua and Jafari. with Ziga Masaba, who's probably the most experienced player in this squad, playing in the midfield, a linchpin, which is obviously a key player, working with Ibra and Nyenye. And there is Mr. Ouattara, who is the referee from Burkina Faso. And Quizera playing on the left-hand side, Salamba up front, the 21-year-old hitman. They've got a really good squad here, Namunga. They've decided to bring a team that will compete and try and outplay Pyramids FC. He is one of the most skillful players on the pitch. There is no doubt about it. Issa has just got just a sensational set of skills. His footwork is sumptuous, that would make Fred Astaire, if anybody recalls him, who's one of the stars in the dancing arena back in the good old days. Well, lovely feet, just like him. Rodolfo Arrua Barrena is the man in charge. He's looking to try and do what Pyramids FC didn't do last season, and that is win this competition. Hamed Suleiman is the man in charge for Namungo. We get this game underway. It is, of course, Pyramids FC playing in black up against the Tanzanian side, the Southern Killers, Namungo, here the 30th of June Stadium in Cairo. 24 degrees, but it's probably comes down by a few degrees just because of the wind that's blowing through this stadium. Nice little work. Here's Issa picking the ball up down the left-hand side. That's just trickled over the wrong side of the paint. It's going to be Namungo who pick up possession. Ball comes back to Tangalo and back to the goalkeeper Naimana, who fires it high up into the air. Nicely works in the midfield there by Quizera, just going to pick it up, but here he is again. It's nicely done by Quizera, just getting the ball out wide, just staying away from trouble. Jafari picks the ball up, tries to go for a nice little 1-2. That's a great tackle, that is, from Traore, the Burkinabe. A wonderful player, and a player who has most definitely found his place in this squad. 24-year-old from Burkina Faso. Originally playing out his football in Ouagadougou. Ball comes back to Magingi. Magingi, the central defender, just working well over on that left-hand side, bringing in Jafari. Let's see what they can do. It came from an offside position, I'm afraid, Salamba, and it will be a free kick that will be going against them. There you go, just popped himself on the wrong side of Sami. The centre-back here for Pyramids FC. Some players missing, of course. We heard that Arua Barrena was going to rest a few players. They've got a very long season. They've missed a few matches because of being tied with this competition, so it's been a little bit complicated. The players are tired, and of course they'll try and recuperate as much as they possibly can. There's Omar Gaber over on the other side. Speaks very good English, by the way. Omar Gaber has spent a bit of time playing in the US, lived in LA for a few years as well, and very experienced player. Lots of experience playing for the national team, for the Pharaohs as well. 28 caps now, and spent time in Switzerland playing for Basel as well. Picked up by Issa. Issa in the midfield. Gets the ball out wide. Tariq Taha. Here he is again. Cuts inside. Nice little slick footwork there with Saber getting involved as well. Could work off the ball. As the attempted cross by Tariq Taha getting deflected. Comes back to Mohamed Hamada. Taha gets the ball back, a little bit lucky there, and well, he's still got the ball if he wants it, but Tangalo wins possession, and it's going to be a goal kick for the Tanzanian side. Tangalo. The ball goes all the way back to Haimana, the goalkeeper. Then we'll go 11th in the Ligi Kubara, which is the first division in Tanzania. Simba, of course, top team. Unstoppable this season. Very successful run in the Champions League as well. Beating Al-Ali. That's Traore. Kind of a missed kick there. Gets the ball back. It's Hamada. Yeah, Simba have been absolutely outstanding for some wonderful football that they played. It's great play down the right-hand side.